We don't need the presentation in between me and you. Welcome again to the Truman Show. Yannick, your host. How are you, Mark?
I'm good, Yannick. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. How was your week?
Heavy.
Yeah. You've been
It is.
passing a bit of time with Jimmy, eh? Jimmy, the guy we had on the Truman Show with you the last time. Very great. I love him. He's great. Great vibes and
Yeah,
knows a lot.
it was very, very nice. And then the video that I did with him, it was very, very professional, and we had slideshow and everything. And I put
Yeah.
it on, and it got a lot of attention. So here we are, breaking the illusion and the delusions of our time. This is the most amazing time we are living in, and I don't think humanity has any other bigger mission than waking up at this point, because what are we going to just continue and becoming animal laboratories in the future?
And that's why I called that show Flat Earth is a great consciousness accelerator, but I don't think it's the end. Like there's other stuff. But also why I say that is because as the further I go into YouTube and listen to people's video and stuff, and for sure I have my opinion, but I'm also really informed. I did a lot of research. So I'm not into church. I'm not into like I am my own guru, eh? So I follow no religion, no Christianity, no nothing of no Babylon stuff, no Vatican. I have no Jesus in my house. There's no cross in my house. There's no stuff like that. So I'm not into Babylon at all, at all. So when I say Flat Earth is a great consciousness accelerator, is if you're awake to the Flat Earth, but you still follow all those Babylon stuff, like what is that? Like, I think you get a lot of homework to do. You have a life of indoctrination to undo, and
Well,
you
and
should really look at it.
that's what you and I have been talking about a lot on these videos, and that's what Jimmy and I were talking. We didn't start with the flat earth. We started with all the deceptions that are going on in our world, and they're all interconnected. And then I was watching something with Michael Jackson and Prince, that how they started bringing that out, and how that is just a no-no for people who are famous to talk about these things. So it takes a lot of people talking the small talk and doing the small circles to wake up the entire humanity. And I think that's my hope.
Yeah, but why? When it me, it's when me. What struck me the most is people want to talk about it when it comes to flat Earth. It's like they want to talk about it. Like more and more people are coming out now. But I mean, the general people that you're gonna meet that they're not aware of the Earth not being a blue ball because they never question. It's just because they never question their reality. Because the moment you start questioning it, forget about that. You're gonna. It's just because we don't question nothing. We don't question nothing, and we should so stop and question everything we have been taught. But no, we believe certain stuff. We believe Christianity is real. We believe Jesus is real. We believe all their crap, Babylonian crap, but then are into the flat earth. And even some people promote the flat earth with the religious thing. I'm like, hello, this is the same people that enslave your mind into believing it was a globe or something. Now you woke up and you still worship those same church people. Whether it's there's so many religion in the world, people are so lost in that confusion of religion that yeah, that me anyway, me it's so clear for me that me I've first of all never been a church guy too much, so it's never not that
Well,
I because I don't think you will find divinity and salvation into it. Find that inside yourself after a journey you take. First of all, you wake up and you start living your life, and you need to go to a temple and get on your knees and or go into a Catholic church or anything like that. I think the salvation starts with you, with yourself. You have to save your own self. Like
well,
it's
I
always
Yeah.
we have that mentality more to seem to want to look for external stuff to be able to pamper us or comfort us in some way that we feel comfortable, and our illusion is not broken on this side, but then we keep the comfortness of the illusion, and yeah, but we live in the reality of the flat earth, but no, but we still go to church, and like, what is that? It's just nonsense to me. But anyway, give me your intake on
Yeah. Well, I grew up as a Muslim, and but I was never pushed into it. We never had to pray or go to mosques or anything. My father and my mother were very, very open-minded at many, many different levels. Yet the entire identity of a religion was always suffocating to me. I mean, even as a child, I felt suffocated hearing these verses that everyone had to read in order to wake up. But you see, there's always two sides to the sword. For example, Rumi, the greatest poet of Iran, which is the greatest poet of maybe humanity at many, many different levels. When you read his poetry, you wake up to such deep, deep levels. They say that he had the whole Quran memorized. So he had it all memorized, yet his only message was about love. So if there was a Jesus, his message would have been only about love. And I know, and from the beginning of time, I knew that they're not just one person or two person. There are millions of people during history that have shown up that their message have been of love. Yet the institutions of organized religion are sick at so many different levels. And I could just get it as a child. It is very, because the first thing that organized religion does is this: you are separated from God. You are the creation, and the creator is up there separated from you. In some of the Sufi gatherings that I have even gone, you know what they say? They say God is so big that if he, of course if he shows up on earth, the whole earth would explode. I mean, look at the narrow-mindedness of such a stupidity to even say such a thing, where God is within all of us and we're living it. So the two-sided sword.
I think more and more people are coming to this realization also, because when I talk to the ringers, I do a lot of interview. I intend to do a lot more too. But sometimes it's hard to get in touch with them or to just make it happen, synchronicity and all that. So when I'm able to make it happen, I'll make more. But I don't know. I lost what I wanted to say. What were you talking about before?
So the interesting thing is this, though. So the purpose of religions is to separate us from God. Okay.
Oh, the God and Goddess says. Okay, yeah, the God and Goddess says. That's what you were talking about. So yeah, so even them, like you would have go back 50 years ago, you would have asked any Rastafarian or Rasta, what is his image of Rastafari? Right away, they would have pointed to Haile Selassie being God and blah, 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 blah. But now, today, they're more relating to their own divinity than something exterior. And that's what I get from a lot of those reggae singers. And it's great because we're all waking up to the fact that we are the creators. But that's something that I have also a problem to size a bit, the size of my creation. I think something had been created. We've been put here to take care of it because we are the consciousness of this plane. But to say who is the creator and all that, that's another question. I think that's what they hide. It's a godless system. They don't want us to know God. They don't want us to know our divinity, so they hide it. It's very
Yeah, and divinity is
clearly, crystal clear.
multidimensional because as we go on as creators, we are creating this reality. So by creating this reality is that we have 100% responsibility in its creation. That's why I've been saying all this time within myself and within anything that I have a chance to talk about is like if we do not take responsibility for everything that is happening on earth, we are resigning from our God selflessness because if we say, okay, they're creating darkness here and I have nothing to do with it here and there's nothing I can do about it, then we have forgotten who we are and we don't know how powerful we are. We don't know how powerful we are. That this is the time, and the flat earth knowingness is the major key in our awakening. Even though I have done a lot of spiritual work all my life, but none of my spiritual work up to this point has meant anything until I found about flat earth, because now I know I am in the center of creation.
Exact. It's knowing, it's knowing, it's not believing like that globe was a belief, was something that's been put on us, a spell. But no, it's knowing is very important. And knowing that we are on a plane, infinite plane, Earth plane, it's the most magnificent shift in consciousness for humanity. That's why it's you can accelerate your consciousness, the whole consciousness of humanity very fast, because it's never about 1%, it's about us, it's about the whole. So it's very important also when you talk that you talk relating to the whole, because and don't bash and trash people too much because you were there probably once in your life. That's what I look at also now as I go out and I notice, and I kind of trying to remember at the point where I was the most dormant in my life, like where I was eating scrap and not scrap, because I've always been a little conscious, but not enough. Like I was eating meat at one point, but yeah, but always made sure my meat was coming from somewhere clean, but still it wasn't conscious. So I was still in unconsciousness. Maybe a normal unconsciousness compared to the deep unconsciousness. But the people are blind, and the blind must be led. And the blind must be led. So it's not by bashing other people and this and that we're gonna wake them up. So
well,
shine
and
your light.
also we have to realize that those parts, Hello?
Mar, it's hard for the common, like we're all common men, but it's hard for the common man to seize the amplitude of that lie and not the deception, but the deception that they made, because we're not in the world of deception, we're in the world of love and glory and grace. But the deception is their word, they create it. But yeah, no, but it's hard for the Kanye to believe that the world is a stage. The world, because once you start realizing the flat earth, you should realize the other stuff. That's why I say I don't understand why so many people are still stuck in religion and stuff like that. Even after realizing that the earth is flat, that it's not a ball, because the same people that lied to you about the ball, the same one that they lied to you in church. So I don't get it. So that's why I speak my mind on it, and I try to just give my point of view.
I have to bring this other part to it, like Rob Sakiba. He's pretty amazing. He's very amazing, and he's a Christian, and he's bringing lots of verses of Bible that how it does refer to a geocentric world. I don't know the flatness, but then the geocentric world. And then the same thing with Islam. In Quran, it says, we call it Quran actually. In Quran, it says that this is the center of all that is. This is the center of the universe. So in that way, when I tell the Muslim people that look, actually the world is flat, they become even more attached to their religion, because now they know that their religion is the religion of truth. The only thing that we are missing in all the religions, because this is injected into religions now, I don't know, I think that the Jew world order has created all the religions. Yet at the same time, they also inject the truth into all the religions. So that means they say this is the center of the universe, the same way that in the Game of Thrones, being the most famous movie all over the world right now, it shows the ice wall. But it's anyone watching the ice wall in the Game of Thrones would ever guess in their mind that this is our reality on Earth. And that degree of deviation from reality showed in our fantasies from Hollywood and into religions. It's kind of connected all together. It's all in the plain sight. It's given to us.
It's given to us, but so what? So you agree with those people that you think? What's your point of view? Am I wrong by saying? But I think, or what? Like you, me, I think it's all joined together. Like even if you're a Christian, like even to me, the Bible is okay, but the Bible is I don't think it's the word of God. To me, it's written by men. It's written by men as far as I'm concerned. If it's the word of God, we should have seen him by now.
I don't think
it's been a while.
I don't think anything.
So
Yeah, I don't think anything is the word of God, and everything is the word of God. It's both sided. Everything is the word of God, and nothing
I know
is the word
everything
of
is
God.
everything, but
So it's the same thing. No, I'm not saying that I agree with religions. I'm saying it's a two-level sort of control. They give us some of the reality in the plain sight, and at the same time it's controlled, so it keeps you away from knowing that you are the part of the consciousness and you are responsible for this creation here. That's it. Organized religions suck, according to me. But the deep spiritual connection doesn't.
At least it gives maybe people a point of reference for divinity. Like I've been to church before. I don't, but to me it's very sinister. To me, it's when I saw the Jesus on the cross bleeding and all that stuff that don't make sense to me. No? Like if you adore your prophet that much, what religion that adore his prophet would crucify him on a cross? Like what is that? If you adore him that much, he's your Jesus, the savior of the world, and you crucified him, and then what? He's all over the world in all the churches, and come on, just that is.
But remember, all these religions, the reason that I question them is their blood sacrifice rituals. The blood sacrifice rituals have been injected in all two religions. So you see Jesus on the cross bleeding. That is a blood sacrifice in the eye of humanity. And then, yes, sacrifice your son for me. Oh no, stop! Don't sacrifice your son for me. Sacrifice a goat for me or a sheep for me. Don't pray to any other gods, just me. I mean, that type of egotistic God has no, it's not a representation. Yes, it will take some people into some type of divinity, yet the divinity is what the Native Americans played, what the native people of the world prayed. They lived in divinity without any names. They lived in divinity in their center core, and that's why they were all identified as savages and killed by millions.
You know, those blood sacrifices we're talking about, I've heard in my research that even those blood bank that we go give blood to, like the Croix Rouge, the Red Cross, or places like that, apparently they go in there and take blood from those banks to do their sacrifice. I saw that many places.
Oh my God, I have never thought about that.
Yeah, and that's why they want blood all over the world. Why? Question yourself, why would they they would care about us by collecting our blood? Like, okay, like I don't. There's something. Me, I question everything, and I saw that in my research in the past, and it makes sense to me that why
Yeah.
we're always running out of blood. Where is the blood? You know, all the time, oh, missing blood, missing. We don't have blood, but everybody go give blood. It's like I'm sure we have more blood than fuel. So what's it? What's the problem? Where's all the blood? It's like where's all the gold? What
And
you
then you,
spray
and
it in the
then
air, the blood.
And then
Another
I'm
thing.
sure you have heard also that Red Cross itself is a very, very, very polluted
Yeah,
society. The CEOs of
satanic.
Red Cross, the
Yeah.
CEOs of Red Cross have the entire island of very much huge health, wealth built for them, and no one else is
That's
allowed in
why.
there. It's like, how could that be possible?
That's why the Red Cross symbol is the inverted Switzerland flag. It's the same thing. It's the same people that run. They're all in cahoot. That's why it's very important to do your research, do your homework, and find out because yeah, the Red Cross I don't think is what it is. Nothing in the world works the way you think it does. Nothing.
And yeah, and also
Nothing.
just imagine with all the blood that they're taking from all over the world, there are so many refugees with nothing. There are so many people that are dying in all the wars right now that have no blood or no care or anything. So this is just for, I don't know, it's just for the blood banks of the empire at some level, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's just I think I don't know what they do. They do something with the blood. It goes missing in a lot of places, and I
Well,
just
I'm
don't
I'm
want.
also hearing that a lot of homeless are being missing, and
Yeah,
a lot of
a lot-
refugee children are being missing. And so let's bring some light into all this. Let's bring
yeah,
some light into all this. We can talk about doom and gloom always, and there's a lot of that happening on the earth. What we need to talk about is that if humans wake up to the bare fact that we are the creators, and as creators we live in the center of this universe that is not moving, it's completely grounded, and we have a choice to make it into a heaven or drop it deeply into hell. This is the quote and the question of humanity right now. None of us can be really away from it. This should be the invitation on all the round tables of discussion everywhere, in the human form, and we should not worry about people who are not catching up. We need to really strengthen each other in this whole consciousness, awareness, and strengthen each other to know that we are here, we need to go for it, and there are millions of people that are interested in it, and we take everyone as our family and start just keep building the best vibration that we can, like you do. Rise and
yeah.
shine. You're always bringing good energy to all of us. Thank you.
It's the decade of consciousness. That's what I think it is. It's the time where we can begin to envision things happening. It's possible, but we have to shine our light. But yeah, it's the decade of consciousness. That's for sure. There's something happening. Everybody I talk to, there's a spark in them after I finish my story. It's like, oh, yeah, no, everybody is waking up, and it's very important also when you go out in real life to talk about it. Don't be. But the biggest reason I had to break, and also that's interesting to talk about, is what other people's gonna think of you. Because me, that was the biggest uh, thing to go out and not that I was living in a fear that I was shaking because I was going out on YouTube, but what people's gonna think of me, that was a big prison I was living in. Probably you too before you started going publicly or
No, I wasn't really concerned about that because I always got power when I was in front of a group, and that was my childhood vision, to be always in front of the group, and I was always delivering a very, very important message, you
yeah, well,
know.
I was
So
always a leader, but I mean, I don't know, there's a part of me that was holding back, but I don't know why I held back for so long. Today
I
I
think
wonder Today I wonder why I have been so blind. I had the blessing right in front of me that whole time. that whole time the blessing was right in front of me, but I was blind to see it.
Well,
It's
it's fear. It's fear. We are afraid of being who we have
change.
come here to be. We are afraid of, you
Right.
know, of our expanded self. We are afraid of stepping into that divinity that we it's our birthright. So we are stuck in the normal life. Just get up and produce waste and go to bathroom and eat a whole bunch of meat and then just accept that as reality, or making a lot of money, hoarding it just for myself and my own bloodline, and then that's it. That's life. And then you only keep that money for your own bloodline. You don't share with anyone.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and the mentality that we're under, it's striking sometimes to see people mentality how it's just diverted to their own self and their own little comfort and never stretching out of their little circle. Like give back, give back. You know, the biggest, the best work you can do for yourself in your life is work on yourself, but also give back. You know, you have something, you have a gift, you have the potential to change things with. Because it comes with responsibility. Yeah? The responsibility, once you know the truth like that, you have a responsibility to humanity, to the consciousness, but it's so easy today to get detached from that that oneness because of the world we live in. It's constant separation, and everything we see, everything we come across in life, and only your neighbor doesn't even talk to you. So everything is very, very compartmentalized, and people live in little bubbles, and it's very like me. I'm not like that. I speak out, and I'm very joyful, and I'm very happy in life. So I show it. I'm a child of God. I know it. I live it, and I love it. And that's for sure, and that's gonna stay like that
And
forever.
that's why you're a brother to me and all of us, and we love you. Thank you.
But I will do my share of mistake like everybody. Like we're all human. You know, I realized that I was just human. A man is just a man. But if you put your effort towards something, if you have patience and you engage in consistent action like I do all the time, you're gonna succeed. That's for sure. You cannot. It's very, very easy to succeed. And success. What is success, Mara? I'm not talking money or anything. Success is, to me, success is when you're able to influence another person positively in their life and being able to enlighten them or uplift them, because what life is all about, it's about uplifting each other. That's what it is, I think. No, sharing,
Yes.
loving, caring, and life shouldn't be complicated. We make it so complicated for nothing. Sometimes it's that's what another thing that comes to my
So
mind often.
exactly. So this is what we need to do. And yes, I also myself forget many, many times as I give my mind and my soul into the collective consciousness. We need to shift the collective consciousness right now. Okay, the collective consciousness is filled up with hundreds of millions of input of messages that are destroying the oneness from the entire humanity. So we need to change the collective consciousness by creating a parallel reality. And the parallel reality is that we, within ourselves, as the Jedi of light, we become so clear that we are capable of creating a different reality, and by shining that reality into the consciousness of the collective consciousness, we are shifting it at all times. So if we are 10,000 people doing that, united together with really giving ourselves to it, and then 100 million of us, and then million of us. I mean, I was going to tell you this thing. You heard about this, that the whole overpopulation is also a hoax and a myth.
Yeah, yeah,
Did
yeah,
you
yeah.
hear
I
about
said
that?
that. Yeah, but I told you in the Hangouts before that the world population was a hoax. I'm sure there's something. I never researched on it, but if you confirm it to me now, go ahead. I suspected it from a long time ago.
Well, they were saying that the entire world population, which is what, 7 billion or
They
70
say
billion?
7 billion, I think, or something.
Okay, let's say it's 7 billion. The entire population will fit in just the state of Alaska. And each one, every single one, including all the children, including all the homeless, everyone will have a space of 2,000 square feet for themselves. That means a huge house, everyone. So if we can fit the entire population of the world into the state of Alaska, just imagine what's the rest of the world. It's like there is so much land even within our world that is we have no idea. No one is really occupying.
No, and I was thinking the other day, I was like, there's something we hear often is half the story has never been told. Half the story has never been told in the
Most of
Bible,
it.
wherever.
I
Yeah.
say most of it has never been told.
Okay, but if you look, and I was looking at the flat Earth map, and if you look at the flat Earth map, when the globe is put onto a flat Earth map, half of it, there's nothing, there's no land, only on half the circle. So the whole Pacific Ocean on the other side, there's
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, you've been saying that.
It's
So
very, very
yes,
weird.
it
And
is.
I made a correlation with those two things. Half the story has never been told, and I'm like, what is the other half that I don't know? And then I look at the map and I'm like, oh,
No, I
that's,
think it's way more than
I
the
don't think
half.
it's that half, no, but you know what I
It's
mean?
more it's more than the half. We have no idea where we are coming from right now because all those books, all that information, all those documents are either held in Vatican libraries that no one can touch, or they were burned during the medieval times with all the witches and everyone. Okay, so where we come from and who we are is hidden to us. I just walked to a game shop the other day, and the guy that at the game shop looked like you, long hair, he had earrings on and everything. So I looked at his walls and I was like, every single thing was a war game, everything. So I just talked to him and I said, why is all these games about war? I mean, that totally puts it into the consciousness of humanity that we are warmongers. And he was kind of interesting. He said, look, I'm a hippie. I grew up with a hippie family and we don't believe in war at all. And I grew up on all these war things. And I am a peacemaker. I said, this is very interesting that you say that. Maybe your consciousness is saying that, but what about your subconscious? Is your subconscious absolutely believe that when they drop the bombs on Iraq and kill 2 million people, you have something against it? He said, yes, I was on the streets protesting. I said, well, by bringing this to a lot of young people, you actually think you are bringing peace to people? He said, yeah, I think people by doing this, they get their aggression out in the games, and so they don't have to do it in the world. It was very distorted. So I said, okay, this is very interesting. I think our history is totally wrong. He said, look, we've been in war since the beginning of time. I said, no, that's not right. That's a part of our history that has been hidden from us. There have been times on this earth that humanity greatness lived with no war. That's the part that they have taken away. American Indians weren't really warmongers. They were not. They were showed as savages. They were not warmongers.
They were not warmongers at all. They portray them as warmongers and everything, but the Indian were pacifist people. Not go for war and stuff like that. They were very spiritual people, and
Yeah.
still today, and that's why they brought alcohol and all kinds of religion to them to corrupt their mind, and because they were too spiritual. The shamans. Where are all the shamans in the world? They're all
Shaman.
gone.
All the
Shamans,
shamans.
shamans,
Yeah.
sure, shamans.
Well, I was just in Las
Well,
Vegas visiting Jimmy, and here we go. I mean, they all have the casinos now, you know. It's a material world. Let's turn you all into material slaves, you know. Then Madonna becomes a material girl, you know. So that's within all of us. I mean, within all of us, we have that greed factor. It's mine, it's mine. This is my car, this is my house, and you know, it's just is there until we decide to shift it. So this man also at the game shop, once I told him about evolution, and then once I told him that they're hiding these things, he started looking at
yeah,
me like, oh, evil is here. Why don't you
yeah.
get out of my store? And that was very interesting. Here
No,
we are.
very interesting the reaction of people when you confront them with their own passion or their own things that they believe in, but that you know that it's an illusion. And when you go try to break their illusion, they're very weird the reaction. Sometimes they think you're evil and stuff like that when all you want to do is speak the good news. You know, you want to enlighten humanity. You want to share your light. You want to. That's what it's all about. So, but no, people sometimes mind. I think it's
No,
not the mind that close. I think it's the heart at one point that close to. You have to open. You know, you have to do work on yourself to open those chakra, if you want to say it like that, to really open up to the world and
vibrant.
be able
Yeah.
to speak your mind and do like we do. We did work on ourselves before we end up on YouTube and start doing a show like that or whatever. And there's work to be done. There's work to be done.
Well,
But
I think the biggest religion right now is scientism, because
yeah,
I have a lot of hippie friends that were I now I'm learning also that the entire hippiesism was also created by the system to kind of nullify people and put them aside so they won't really do anything. I don't know if that's true or not, but then all my hippie friends, if I mention anything about evolution or about flat earth or anything, they all of a sudden every single one of them become scientists. Every single one of them is like, no, I have a physics degree, my uncle worked for NASA, and this is a
yeah.
hippie guy that's smoking marijuana every day.
Yeah,
So here
no,
we go.
there is that, but it depends at what level of indoctrination you went to, and that's why people that go to university, you know, and the other day I was reflecting also is like, why, you know, it's not random that it takes 12 years to complete our normal schooling. I mean, elementary plus here it's called secondary, you it's high school. But it takes 12 years. Hello, why does it take 12 years to learn that crap stuff? Anyway, I don't remember nothing I've learned in school. Nothing.
Is a
Maybe the
complete
only
waste.
thing I remember is that in mathematics, some stuff that I still use today, but I mean the history and stuff. I don't remember nothing of that. So what was the brainwashing me for 12 years just to make sure I was well brainwashed?
Well, we are learning that also mathematics is a hoax. It
Yeah,
means nothing. It means nothing. And the importance of mathematics, the way they have made it, that it is the science, the base of all sciences, mathematics, is not true. And now I also heard that even electrons and protons may not be true, because maybe they have created all that to show that we all live in a global sphere type of life, from the little, yeah, everything
and
rotating
that
around each
and that
other.
and that everything spins.
Yeah, and has anyone ever seen an electron or a proton?
Not me. I've never seen those things. Like, okay, for sure, there are some things, and you can't deny electricity exists. For sure, there's
No.
stuff you can see, you can feel.
Magnetic field.
If you touch an outlet, you will feel the electricity. It does exist. And the
Let
Earth
me,
is electric. The Earth is electromagnetic. So,
well,
but the
Tesla,
other stuff like
well, Tesla completely already proved all that we live in the electromagnetic geocentric Earth. It's like, what else do we want?
this, hey, yesterday I was looking at the moon last night. There's something really weird happening on the moon yesterday. At the bottom of the moon, because I take my telescope and I look at it, and the top was very, very circular, very well defined circular disc, but the bottom was all scattered, was all like there was like a razor
Chopped up,
blade chopped up
chopped
at the
up.
bottom. What is that? You have an idea?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I really don't know. I
That's
just
something
think,
I found.
I'm sorry. I've
No,
had a cold
no
lately.
problem.
Um,
No,
uh,
it's something
you
I
know,
found strange. I was like, why is that?
rocks.
Like it's been fizzled or something?
It is possible that because so many people are doing research on the moon right now, they're kind of trying to put to, the system is trying to create holograms to make it whatever to show that, oh yeah, there are aliens living behind the moon or something. I just
Yeah,
respect the moon.
that's what Jimmy I think was saying about Project Blue Beam, eh?
Blue beam, yeah. But
Yeah.
then
That they could
someone else said that their project of blue beam does not work if there is a geocentric dome, geocentric world with the dome on top of it. Their blue beam would not work. So I haven't looked at that video yet. I should, because they were debunking the blue beam. But we don't know. The holograms. Right now, there are museums all over the world that you're walking, and all of a sudden, a whole whale is completely swimming by your side. If they can do
yeah, but
that,
a dome, just even a dome, Mar, even a dome. If I go high with those balloons that they sent at, I think it's 120 kilometer up in the air or something, 120,000, 120 kilometer or something up in the air. So anyway, that balloon that went up, and you see the moon, and you see the sun, and you see the sunspot, and all that. So the higher I'm going, the further I should see. So to
so it's
me,
all
be able to see the dome at one point. No, you don't think?
that there is a dome or not. I just don't know. I mean,
No, no, I know,
some
but
people want to
we're
put a
just
dome on it to limit it, like this. But I feel that it is infinite. I think there are open places beyond in Antarctic that the water actually flows to other lands,
you know
and
why? Why would there be a dome? Why? To protect us from what? If we live in love and grace, protect us from what? It's all divine, so there's no danger. So why you want to put a dome over us to enclose us again? To
I
make us
could.
believe it's another kind of a ball, another like I never understood that dome thing. Why a dome? Because there's space. Space exists now. There's something out there to that could hurt us. Why put
That's
a dome? Okay, we look at the rainbow, we see it shape it like a dome. That's the only thing that gets me going on that thing, but could be for other reason that she's a shape like that too. It's not only because it's a dome. It could be other things,
well.
but the dome thing, I'm like, okay, why a dome?
Well, the
I
parts
don't know.
that all the stars, or what we call the stars, the points of lights, are all within this above structure, whatever that structure is. It doesn't have to be a dome and enclosed. It could be that these stars or these points of lights and the moon and the sun, all the way to the North Star, are just electromagnetically divinely designed, yet there is something in between all of them. And whatever that in between is that is holding them together, maybe it's called the dome. We just need to be open-minded with it, because there is no way we will ever know what's above it. And what is it that they said, the water above, water below? I mean, could it be really water above the dome? I mean, it's just mystery. This is
It's just
mystery.
mystery, but I don't know. There was that commercial of Hennessy that Yahoo presented the other day with the guy that goes into some kind of cabin, and there's a ball that goes bust into the sky, into the water, and stuff like that. So I don't know. But again, it's could be predictive programming, could be anything that they put into us. There's a lot of stuff they try to do to program
Well,
us.
you see, it's like if we were aware human beings living on this beautiful earth, we will be all seeking together, using everything that we have, and we will create systems and governments that work within the people power to all find out what's going on, what is is our universe, the only verse that we have. What is, what is under it, what's above it, what is beyond Antarctic. Not just a select few living in complete secrecy and dominance and darkness, trying to control everyone. And it puzzles me that how they have done it. They actually have done it. They have kept
Yeah.
humanity in darkness.
No, humanity has been kept in darkness, has been kept under, but it's from birth, eh? The people, that's was it Ali? Ali wrote something nice on Facebook the other day about, no, not on Facebook, on my YouTube channel about the birthdays. And how they, why it's called birthday, because they take your birth right away, right at birth. That's why. And then I was reflecting on it the other day. I'm like, yeah, for sure. At the hospital, as soon as you're born, your mother or your father has to sign the birth certificate, and your birthright are taken away right there. So
yeah, right there.
You become, and before here in Canada, and on the birth certificate, they used to put the number of the Bank of Canada, but they don't put it no more. Like
Wow.
what? Because people are being more awake now. People are waking up and starting to spread inspiration, because that's what's happening. We're all waking up and spreading inspiration, and it's gonna happen. The awakening is now. Is not in 10 years. Is not in. The awakening is now. It's up to us to wake up all together and to shine the light. And
Yeah.
yeah.
One thing that I wanted to share, since we talked about birth, there is a part of my past that I delivered 150 babies into this world as a midwife. It was pretty amazing because
Oh,
I
yeah.
just had to do it. It was the most magnificent thing to do in my life, to just help, in El Paso, Texas, where
Bit.
a lot of Mexican women came across the border to give birth so they can have American babies, so they can have a foot into United States. And we had a clinic there, and we delivered like during 3 months, we gave more births there than nurse midwives as midwives would do in 3 years in the hospital system. So that was an amazing education for me, to know that the entire hospital system of birthing is also a part of the blood-sucking sacrifice method that they have created. Because the first thing that they do, not only the very, very artificial ways of delivering these babies, but also they cut the umbilical cord right away. And right there is a disconnection between the wholeness of the person with their brain. Right away, the blood barrier gets cut off, and that blood should be doing it by itself. But then from there, separating the child from its mother is the entire indoctrination into mechanical robot type of mentality of separation and no love or compassion. It's pretty sick what happens to children in the hospital systems in the Western way, which has now taken over the entire world.
Very, very interesting what you're saying there, because I assist myself 3 times to deliveries my 3 children, and I've never thought about it, never questioned it, the procedure, why they were doing it or what they were doing. But now it makes a lot more sense what you're saying to me. Why exactly do they ask us? And why do they ask us Ben to cut the cord? That's another thing. Why do they ask the male, the father, cut the cord? Like, why do they have to cut the cord so early? And so shouldn't that, I don't know. I'm sure there's other technique in the world than the one we have in Canada here or US or whatever.
They do that. They do that all over the world now, because the Western medicine is growing all over the world. Like in Iran, for my country, more people are going for the Western world, and surgeries and all the pharmaceuticals are all over. But then the birthing system has become exactly that way. Oh, when a child is born, you don't cut the cord until it stops pulsating. Nature knows how to do it. So when it stops by itself pulsating, then you cut the cord, and that happens in nature, in all the animals also. Okay.
Okay, hold on. You mean the bag, the placenta?
It's connected
Is
to the child when it's
yeah, it's
born,
good.
and
Okay, but
you let it be connected to the child
the
until it's
placenta
the
until it
placenta.
stopped beating.
Yes. Until it
Wow.
stops beating. That's when all the money, all the blood from the
Wow.
placenta transfers into the body of the child. But if they cut it right away, a whole bunch of blood that belonged to the child is not going to make it to the brain. And right there, it shrinks the brain a little bit. And then they separate the child from the mother. And then, well, I like that part that the father comes in and cut the cord. But the point is that that cord is alive then, and it's going to gush with blood and everything. Okay. But the cord that had stopped pulsating doesn't have any blood. Anyone can cut it. Or after a while, it could just, you just tie it and then it falls off by itself. It
That's
just goes
profound.
deep. It just
That's
goes deep.
profound.
Yeah, it just goes
That's
deep.
profound. Wow. That goes deep. Wow. I'm on shock now. I never question. You see why I say I question everything, and I don't know. The more I learn that I know nothing. The more I learn that I have a lot to learn. Just that I knew there was something not right, but never questioned it. And now, yeah, you say that the placenta is still beating and beating, and yeah, because he has to probably a lot of good nutrients also in that bag, and that's why they take it away from you, and what they do with the bag, what they do with all this. I wonder what. Anyway,
They make a lot of things out of the placenta. I'm sure they put some of its stuff into. That's why in some of the places, in some hospitals, you cannot have your placenta even you ask for it. They won't give it to you. And it's like it's like military. Hospitals have become like military. It's their order, or you're not taking the order, and they can stop servicing you or whatever. Yeah, and the doctors for sure are the agents of the pharmaceutical agencies. There are many
but
beautiful doctors. Yeah, there are many beautiful
hospitals
doctors. Huh?
hospitals have been created in the time of war anyway, so that was for the military. At first, that hospital were implement, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, for sure, it's a military edifice. The hospital, they do experiment there.
Yeah, did you know that in emergency situations, if someone is bleeding a lot and they don't have blood, you can just give them coconut water. And a lot of amazing people have actually put coconut water in the IVs, in the IV bag, and give it to soldiers that had lost a lot of blood, and it comes back. The body starts making blood again. Wow, we're talking
Wow,
about a lot of.
there's so much we don't know, and we need to research and know. Very important. So, Mar, that
Yes,
was a pleasure again to be with you today. Great hangout again. It's been an hour, so I'm not gonna hold you much longer. But
thank you.
I've learned. You see, if you don't learn something every day, either it's on Facebook, you're following the wrong people. So today I've learned about that placenta, the umbilical cord to the baby. That's very. You know what I'm gonna do now? Right away, I'm going to see my wife and tell her that for sure.
And it would be beautiful to get the placenta and plant it, and plant a huge tree with it. But before we go, I just wanted to say I have an intention to, at the end of every show, to put it on the highest frequency possible. As creators of our reality, I join forces with you, Yannick, right now on this video, and to all the people who are listening. So may our lights and our frequency rises to a level that is undeniable and can break through every illusion and delusion that exists on earth and wake up humanity at the highest level possible, connecting all of us to our hearts and souls to the most beautiful level.
Yaman, our
Okay,
truth is stronger than the illusion. Never forget that.
thank you.
Right.
Thank you so
God
much.
bless.
God bless.
Bless up.